So what was in your mind? Why did you think you needed to lock up the firearms in a vehicle?
Because my first impression was a bullshit story, and that something else was going on, and something happened in the bedroom that I just wasn't sure. And I guess it's my military training. I don't know, but safety was the first priority for everybody.
You remember sharing some text messages with the defendant about her coming back to the house, so this would be after she'd moved out, to collect things from.
I remember specifically, we scheduled a time for her to come, and I scheduled a time that way I could ensure a deputy would be there to kind of monitor the situation, because it became very volatile by that point.
So, did the
Served, I think is the best way to put it.
as far as people that were already in the house at that time, not talking about who came with the defendant, but who was at the house, separate from that group, who was at the house?
My brother Les Stauch. I think Landon would have been there, and Veronica, the deputy. Veronica being Landon's aunt, to clarify. Whichever deputy, I think it was Berklich. I'm not 100% sure. I was there, of course. I think my sister Becky would have been there as well. Rebecca Lynn. I think that's it.
Where was Lena?
Elena as well. Yeah, Elena was there. Thank you.
Were you watching what stuff was being carried in and out of the house?
I stayed in two main areas. I stayed in the kitchen for a while. So I did see, when I say traffic, coming up and down the stairs from Harley's room, bringing stuff. And then I went into the bedroom at one point while Tisha was gathering some of her belongings. And I do remember the deputy followed me in there. He was in there as well the whole time I was in there with Tisha. So, the defendant, excuse me.
So that suitcase that we talked about earlier, that green suitcase, did you ever see that come out of the house on that day?
No, sir.
Did you ever see it come out of the house in relation to this investigation?
No, sir.
Once she moved her belongings out of the house on January 31st, how would you communicate with the defendant after that?
Through text message, there may have been, and I'm speaking in between the period before I started the pretext phone calls. There was text messages and I believe some emails and possibly some phone calls as well. I don't remember specifically, but any version of those three, I think, were in play.
What about in-person conversations?
I don't believe I ever saw her again after she left until I saw her in the courtroom.
Okay. During that particular time frame, so from January 31st until we start into these pretext phone calls, did the statements that the defendant was telling you about what happened again and ever change?
Yes, they changed yes.
In what ways did they change?
Different people were accused, something happened again and at different places, I think I'm mixing up some of the pretext stuff too. So I'm trying, I don't know, but yeah, there was different stories told.
Okay.
So.
And so we're going to get into the pretext phone calls,
Yeah.
obviously, and that we'll actually be able to hear those things. What I'm trying to do is just get into what you're thinking happened based on what you're hearing from the defendant. And so you said that there was different names being mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember any of those names now?
Yeah, I think one of the first ones was Eduardo. Some version of that. There was another name. I don't think it came into play until the pretext, the Quincy Brown. I think that's when that came into play.
So let me back up and stop you there. In relation to the name that you just said, Eduardo.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
What did she tell you about Eduardo?
So I'll be honest, I'm having trouble. I think all the different versions are mixing together when they happen. So I don't know. I know there was a story that the defendant told me about, there was a man in the neighborhood, a carpet guy or
So let
something.
me ask you specifically about that.
Please.
Did she give you a statement about her allowing a man from the neighborhood that was a construction worker into the house to fix the carpet?
I think the story was she gave him the code. But yeah, somehow he got in the house.
The question is, did she tell you a story with those sort of details in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the story that she told you in relation to that?
Like I just said, I think it involved in that specific one that she gave him the code of the garage and he came in. I'm kind of at a loss on that, Mike, or Mr. Allen, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Did you know anybody by that name?
Absolutely not. I don't believe.
Did she allege that that's the person that raped her in the first time that she tells the story?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to jump into these phone calls and we're going to have to reconnect our computer. So just a moment. That first pretext phone call, which is People's Exhibit number 35, previously admitted. Who was on that particular phone call?
It would have been
No,
myself.
yeah, it's not tricky.
Yeah, it's
Were you
myself
on
and the
that?
defendant. Yeah.
Okay. And then there's other people that are feeding you information to ask them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're at this point, I would ask you permission to publish People's Exhibit 35, this is that longer phone call, an hour and 57 minutes.
Okay. Because there's so many, what you'll need to do is when we stop one and begin the other, you'll just have to tell, for purposes of the record, what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. And what I intend to do, Judge, is play it for just a second so we can hear voices, have Mr. Stauch identify who those voices are, and then just let it play from that point.
All right, that's fine.
Judge, you would think after COVID, we'd be more adept at our computer skills. It's my fault.
All right. We'll have our technological issues, but it's not mine. All you should have to do is plug it in the same way that you had it before.
Yeah, we just didn't. There we go.
Hello,
Whose voice was that?
That was my voice.
Okay, go ahead.
Keisha. Hello? Hey,
Whose voice is that?
That's the defendant's voice.
Okay. So Judge, at this point, we'll just let it play.
All right, Mr. Stauch, you can go ahead and step down.
Thank you.
why didn't you say anything?
I did. I said hello. It's just hard because I have to get service off Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So what's up?
Oh, I'm so hungry.
You still haven't eaten anything?
No,
Huh?
no.
Why not?
I don't have any money or cards. They have all that. I have all my debit cards, credit cards.
Who has all that?
They have it from my car. I don't have anything from my car.
Oh, you didn't have it with you?
I did. I had my purse with me, but they took my purse and they took my Apple Watch and all that. They took everything I had possession on.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. I guess the same reason they took everything that was in my book bag and all they car. I mean, they even took the dog paperwork and my social security card and my birth certificate. My passport, which is why I can't be at the airline because I have to have a passport.
You're not working at the school anymore? I thought you had the early college thing going on.
Right. They took my laptop. Then they took my car. So I called in and said, hey, I don't have a way to get to work right now. I'm going to work on it. I should have my car back in a day or two. I'm still waiting, and I don't have a way to get to work. So as I got my place drive to Denver, and I don't have a passport because I have to have my passport and my crew badge to get on CIA.
So you still
Need to help me get any of it.
who's no one, like the police or whatever?
Like I've called the evidence department several times and just been like, can I at least get can I at least get anything that deals with my everyday life of operating, like my cards, my passport. And then the guy was like, well, why do you need your passport? I said, no, it's required by FAA to have it with you at all times, or you cannot even get to the airport, can't do anything.
Yeah, you told me that. I forgot. I'm sorry.
So I just want to get my content like that because how am I supposed to work if I don't have any of it?
Yeah, I know.
Placed on hold. Please wait for your contact to return.
Hello? That was weird. Hello?
Hey,
What happened?
the Wi-Fi, I don't have a number, so the Wi-Fi just dies. So I had to use this Indian dude's number here, phone number here, to call you back on because I only have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Anyway, so like, I don't have any of that stuff. So I'm not trying to purposely not go to work, not do anything. I just need help obtaining any of it to even do anything.
Well, I'm having trouble too because they still freaking got my truck and you know how I have those badges I got to get in?
Yeah.
I can't freaking get into my secure part of my job, so I can't even do what I'm supposed to be doing either. So it's freaking driving me nuts.
So like the people are fussing at Harley because she needs her high school diploma and she needs a report with her ID, social, and high school diploma. And I'm trying to explain to them what's going on.
Yeah.
And like I just can't get any help because she's supposed to be there every week on base doing stuff. She leaves in 28 days.
For basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anything ever happen with that job? That new MOS?
Yeah, the guy wants to talk to her about it. That's why he told her, he said to come in, but we didn't have a way, so we explained that to him. So we didn't have a way. We don't have a way to get on base because they have IDs. They have everything. It's in the book bags, everything.
Okay. What were we talking? What is C? What was that thing you said you called? I just popped in my head. CIB or something?
Yeah, you guys, I'm trying to talk to you about like help, and I'm not downing or talking about anyone, but they don't need to be the lead agency if they're not going to lead. So the Colorado Bureau of Investigations can even look at it from a different approach. So I called the Colorado Bureau of Investigations and I talked to someone and they're going to call me back.
What did you tell them?
I didn't say anything bad about anyone. I just said there's a lot of key things that they're choosing to leave out. And I said, it's becoming a witch hunt after one person. I said, when they're barking up the wrong tree and they're not even following what credible things that I've told them. Like they want tips from the public, but the public was not there.
Well, what credible things have you told them? That's what in our emails I'm trying to, and I know you said you were waiting to talk to me and everything, but what is it that you've told them? Because I know we had some, uncertainty about some of the things initially, and that's fine. But like, what is it that you told them that they're not looking at? What is the? Can you walk me through it? I know I asked you for that timeline.
Hold on a second. I can't breathe even 1 second.
Take your time. Just try to get some deep breaths.
I'm just trying to put the window down on this stupid thing because it's hot. And like I'm having to like run into people I don't even freaking know. They could be mad killers and shit to be like, hey, can I use your phone? Hey, can I sit in your car for a minute? Hey, do you think I could drive your car to the store?
I know I'm starting to feel some heat too. Like I told you when I went to Bass Pro Shop last night, I wanted to get some clothes, but I was trying to hope to run into you on the north end, like you said you were out there, but
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I was just trying to hope to bump into you or something, but I feel like I'm having to hide now. That's why I went and got some redneck clothes, like the clothes that you don't like, because all those nice clothes I have at the house that you got me, I would just stick out like a sore thumb, and I'm just trying to hide too.
I don't know how long you got, but I just wanted to start with you for Saturday what I have.
Okay. Listen, I scooted away for lunch, so probably hour and a half, so we got plenty of time.
All right. What do you mean scooted away from lunch? You don't have a car?
Yeah, I got a rental car. Uncle Jeff helped me out with a rental car, but I just had to get away from all them people, like I've been telling you. It's just crazy. So
You staying by yourself?
Me and Uncle Jeff.
Okay, so your Uncle Jeff is there with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been like me with my family members the whole time. So
how long can your Uncle Jeff stay?
I have no clue. It's people been kind of jumping in and out, but
I just didn't want you to be by yourself because I've been trying to be with you because I don't think that you should be by yourself with them because it's a bunch of vultures. That's all.
yeah, I'm not. I'm starting to slowly see that. So, but yeah, let's just timeline because I want to hear your timeline so I can try to make sense of it.
Saturday, okay. You said you wouldn't question, you would just listen.
Saturday. Hold on, Tisha. Saturday, what do you mean Saturday? Right before me and Mama left. Saturday.
After you left.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So this is the paper I have. I had to get it notarized because that's what that guy said to do. Right after whoever found us and took Holly's car, that's where we had left from was the attorney. But anyway, Alright, so I'm gonna just go through certain things. I'm not gonna read it verbatim how he did it, because it would be more of like in law terms, but, right, you know, key one, Albert and his mom left for Denver. We put DEN in there. Around the house, cleaned up. G helped with stuff. Helped me get stuff out of his car. Gannon's always barefooted, because that was something that he asked me. Even taking the trash out, things like that. He took the trash out. He stepped on something in the garage. So my car parked. You had those boards that were underneath my car, right?
Yeah.
Gannon was going to go help, because he was saying that there was some kind of piece out there that was going to help me. You know the little zip ties that you have on things and it's hard to get off?
Yeah.
So he knew where something was at to go pop this off. So he was going to go get it, because I had bought them some things from the clearance store. All right, so Gannon cut his foot on those boards. We flipped the boards over because we were freaking out, because I was like, oh my God, your daddy said don't get oil or anything from your car and leak on those boards. You know what boards I'm talking about?
The one, like the 2x4s that I have, like that you drive over to park in the garage or whatever. Yeah.
So I let Gannon sit down in the back of the car. You know how funny I am about my car. But also, we just bandaged it up, whatever. All we did was stick a bandage on it, whatever. And I said something to him about, Gannon, you gotta quit coming out here barefooted, which I do the same thing. I take dogs out barefooted anyway.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you. Hold on. Wait a second. I'm just thinking here, and I'm going to listen to everything. Just something that popped in my head. He always goes out the front door to do the trash. That's so weird.
But he was helping me unload. Like, I had bought them a bunch of stuff in the clearance store. If you look in the garage.
I got you. Okay, I thought you said take out the trash. I'm sorry.
Let me explain this to you. There's 2 bags that was put in the garage because I had put a bunch of stuff in there. I went and bought them a bunch of crap that went on sale from the clearance store, because they were changing over to like warm weather stuff. But obviously in Colorado, you can still wear the cold weather stuff, which I saw Lena online wearing, so therefore I knew it was in the house. Anyway, so my point was, he was really, helping me out, whatever, just talking to me about something. Who knows what he was talking about? He tells me about video games. I listen, but I don't understand them. Anyway, so he was bleeding on his foot, and we turned the boards over, because I was like, oh my God, I was going to freak out, because these are the boards. He said, don't you get oil on my car, don't drip on my car, whatever. All right, so during this time frame, was supposed to be taking the trash out. I said, you might as well take out recycle, whatever. But Gannon kept going to the gate with nothing. And I kept saying, why are you going to the gate? He was like, I'm going to make sure the gate is locked. Well, okay, this is the first I'd known. I knew we were talking about locking the gate, but I didn't know Gannon had the key. I thought maybe you just had the key yourself, whatever. I didn't know Gannon had the key.
Babe, he didn't, but hold on. He had the key was in our room in the on top of the dresser the whole time. Remember, he kept.
Yeah. I didn't pay attention or remember.
All right.
So he kept going out there with the key and saying that he was checking to make sure the gate was locked. Okay, benefit of doubt, maybe he was, because we had talked about making sure that gate was locked, or been talking to somebody. I don't know. I'm not speculating. I know I got on him about, hey, doing this.
Yeah.
So underneath there was a rug. That rug that we stepped out on, it was a rug. There was blood on it. I had walked on it, and I was like, Gannon, we probably should just throw this away and find a new rug to put out here. So
what rug are you talking about again? So the one in the garage?
Right.
Yeah.
When you stepped down, there was a rug. I said, we probably should just throw this away. I said, because we can always just get another piece or another rug, or I'll go to Dollar Tree and get a rug, whatever.
I got you.
Okay. So that was that. Okay, so then on the next section, it says, I replaced rug, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yep, bam. All right. And then it says, we came in the house, and he immediately ran downstairs to the room. So then I kept going down there, because his door was locked. He said he was keeping Lena out, which, again, I didn't question, because they always get where 1 minute they want to play with each other, next minute they're like, get out. Okay? So then I sat on the sofa to put on the Peloton shoes, because I was going to ride the bike again, because my friends had said they were going to redo a later time that we could do the bike. Gannon kept coming in there saying, are you going to stay here? Are you going to stay down here? Are you going to stay down here? So I I took it as if he was like excited I was going to stay down there and, just be able to run around and do whatever. But then I had to go upstairs and help Lena, yada, yada, yada. So I got on my statement, it says I was back and forth, but came back when I heard a loud noise. So there was a loud noise that happened downstairs. So of course, I run back downstairs and realized, or so I thought, was a box or something fell over in the storage room. Sounded like something was really loud in the storage room, but I assumed that it was a box. Gannon had his door locked, so I knocked on the door. Of course, I'm like, hello, because I hear a lot of noise. And so he opened and said I couldn't come in. And I was laughing. I'm like, why? And he told me he was doing something. I don't remember what he told me he was building. I'm sure it was something about the Toy Cons or Joy Cons or whatever. I didn't think anything of it. Just, okay, he's building something, whatever. But there was a loud noise, and he was in his room. So then, he said his stomach started hurting a little bit or whatever, so I told him to come upstairs. I had some special ice cream. I had those Pedialyte pops. I had already went and bought them because I thought, this time of year, this is when I got the cold last year, I'll take them. So I let him take the Pedia pops or whatever, and he took some Miralax. So that was a normal day for Saturday. Like, you were already, going on. You probably already got the plane. We all laid down, yada, 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 right?
Right.
We're about Saturday.
Yeah. Crystal.
Sunday, all right? Sunday, we talked to you in the morning. Remember I told you, I sent you a few messages, and I was like, hey, we might go on a hike, whatever. Everyone's going to get dressed, Then suddenly we saw the news about Kobe Bryant. So then, of course, that delayed it because I'm sitting on the sofa crying, trying to figure out, like, oh my gosh, Kobe died. Is this true? Remember, I messaged you. We talked back and forth about it, whatever.
Yeah, I had just gotten to the airport at Lawton when you told me that.
Right. So Gannon hadn't talked at all. I mean, Gannon didn't know who Kobe was. Or maybe he knew from, hearing it, but didn't really know who Kobe was. He just noticed that I was sitting there, crying, oh my God, upset. And we were sitting there talking about it. So I was telling him that, hey, Kobe has a lot of daughters. He only had sisters. Gannon went over the whole, I don't want you to think any of this is irrelevant because I want you to think of anything that I say that might have triggered something.
Yeah, right. I'm listening very closely.
So then we were talking about the daughters, and I was like, yeah, he always wanted a boy, but he never could have a boy. He had daughters, blah, blah. So then I let him in on a little secret, which I already told you over email what it was. Okay, I don't need to say it again. You already know. So me and him were talking about that. He was kind of like, really? And I told him, I said, yeah, I lost a lot of babies. I said, it was kind of hard. I said, you want one thing and it don't ever happen. I felt like I was in a situation to talk again about this because we're over here upset crying about Kobe. And so I was like, I'm telling you because I know that you'll be able to pray and keep a secret. And we were like, kind of being silly about, this is a secret we have between each other. We'll tell Daddy, yada, yada, yada. So we sat there and talked about that for a little bit. So then Holly got called into work. So I was like, crap. We had everything packed, ready to go on a hike, had the Getty, had everything. We were going to plan on staying for a while and then go get dinner. Well, she got called on a hike. So we decided to take 2 hikes. So this is where all this confusion comes with hike, Harley went, hike, Harley not went. So we took the dogs on a hike through the trails in Lorson Ranch. So if you leave out of our neighborhood, go out to the side, go up to the little whatever, you could take the dogs on a trail, come back, yada, yada. So that's what we did first. Came back. Gannon had his water pack. I'm sure you saw the pictures online from Garden of God that some other creeper people took. He had his water pack on his back or whatever, so we got ready for round 2. So hike 2 was Garden of the Gods. So then it says, Garden of the Gods was our hike 2. So we went about 2 miles in, lots of talking about things. G asked me, did I know any of his mommy's friends from Coastal? It was a random thought process. So I just figured he was trying to be curious about it. I said, and did I remember Brian? And we laughed about some new friend named Mike, too. So we were just having this conversation about whoever these people were. I was like, I don't know anybody named Brian. And I don't know anybody named Mike, too. I guess a new Mike or whatever. All right, so Gannon's stomach hurt. And he was, Gannon's stomach hurt. And most of the night he had a stomach ache and he tried to lay down and poop and stuff like that. So during during this time, I'm messaging you, which you're probably tired, jet lag, whatever. Like, hey, Gannon's stomach's hurting, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
If it happened regularly, you know he would get,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. That's when he asked me about the bath salts. Still, hadn't talked to you about it yet, didn't know whatever. He took a bath, and then I gave him a bath salt, because I thought, maybe this has to be clean. You know, whatever. Bath salt, I didn't know any of that stuff. So then, next section. Alright, so then the next section was, I don't remember exactly who took the bath first, but everybody had their baths. Everybody was doing their own thing. Gannon was like going back in his room. I said, okay. So then here's my next note. Alright, Albert had grounded Gannon from the switch. I understand it. He said he was still grounded, but he could get off, you know, the next day. He'd been in his room most of the night. I knocked on the door. He said he was playing with Grayson. I ain't never heard of fucking Grayson before in my life. So again,
Grayson. He said Grayson?
he said Grayson.
Okay.
So in my mind, I thought, who the hell's Grayson? But I didn't see anybody in the room. Obviously, I weren't like looking under beds or anything like that. Honestly, I thought, does kids at 11 still have imaginary friends? Or are they talking? Is he talking to somebody online because he's not supposed to have, you know, like technology?
Yeah, right. I said right, yeah.
Giving them benefit of the doubt, I didn't say anything else. I just said, oh yeah, okay, cool. Well, Grace and I said hi. I laughed it off, went off about business, didn't see anything. So later on, I don't know the exact approximate time, but I saw he was on the sofa. And I was like talking to him. I was like, oh, you want to sleep out here tonight? Or
Oh, what, downstairs sofa?
yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I'm like talking to him about tonight, whatever. He told me that his Uncle Matt was going to visit. Okay, so I don't know who the hell Uncle Matt is. So I was just sitting there like, okay, that's when it dawned into me that he had to be talking to someone on something, because Grayson, I have no clue who it is. Matt, I have no clue who he is. Then I was like, this can't be characters in some game, because it didn't sound like some game characters. I don't know Uncle Matt, and I don't know Grayson. So he was talking about his Uncle Matt was going to visit, and I thought, okay, you know, again, trying to be sensitive to the fact that I know that he probably has friends, family on the other part of the country that maybe he was missing or whatever. So it says, so again, I was like, boy, yeah, so again, that's my statement. So again, I was like, boy, you need to stay off that TikTok. You're being silly. Because I already told him he needs to stay off the TikTok. He was being silly. All right, so I went upstairs. He was on the sofa to watch TV. I told him I'd come back later with him because he wanted to watch something on the show, but I had to get Lena ready, and I promised him I would let him stay up 30 minutes later. I said, you know, I was upstairs, getting Lena ready for bed, yada, yada, yada. Well, then, out of nowhere, the alarm is going off. It didn't start with anything other than the alarm. Lena had laid down. I had went in the room. I was sitting there with the dogs. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something on Roku. I hear the alarm go off. So I walk in the living room, hit the alarm code in. And I'm just like, alarm code. And it stopped. So I thought, who in the world, you know, was on the alarm code? Then it beeped again. It kept going. And then it started fire. It was yelling loud, fire, 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 fire. And I'm just like, fire? And I look around. Don't see any flipping fire anywhere. So as this goes on, I'm like, okay, put the foot in again, it stops. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to get on the phone with ADT because something's wrong with this thing. Remember when we were out of town, the neighbor said she smelled gas and her thing was going off, but then they didn't find anything?
Yeah, right.
So I was thinking maybe it's something to do with this. So that was how my whole process was. So then at that point, I was like, the carbon monoxide thing started beeping. And I ran in there when Lena was at, and I said, Lena, are you asleep? Because I knew, unless I was under some adrenaline rush, and this is not being mean, I would be able to just pick Lena up and yank her out of bed. But luckily, she hadn't fell asleep all the way. I said, Lena, because I thought I was being crazy. I said, do you hear that? It said fire, right? She's like, yes. And so I grabbed Lena, run her outside, run her with the dogs, give her the keys to the truck, throw them in the truck, and I run back inside. Run back inside, still don't know anything, and then remember, oh my God, Gannon. Sorry that for a second I hadn't remembered that because I was trying to still figure out where in the heck I was at. So I run back downstairs and realized that there's smoke downstairs. I couldn't get. I was coughing and choking and couldn't get through the smoke part. Run back to the garage. You had these little mouthpieces that you could put over your mouth.
Yeah, dust protectors, whatever.
So I grabbed one of those, put it over my mouth, ran back downstairs, and when I ran back downstairs, Gannon was still asleep, not knowing this was going on, and there was fire. I took the cover. There was a whole bunch of tons of cover that was inside that little tan thing and Gannon had on or whatever, and I just jumped on him. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. If it was the wrong thing to do, I'm sorry. But I just jumped on it and kept jumping on it, and Gannon was right in one of the covers. So Gannon did burn his arms. It wasn't bad. It was almost like, you know how you get a little bit of oil on it and it's just underneath the skin, and as long as y'all peel it, it's fine.
Yeah, but hey, Tisha, which arm was it? Both arms or this inside? I mean, but how was it? So, because I remember we talked about that before a little bit, but we never got it.
I feel like it was across the arms. I feel like it was, and I told the investigators this. I said, and I don't want to skip to this part, miss this part. But remind me that. Say this later. I told the investigators later that I said I probably should have looked a little more in depth at his arm.
What if he's hurt? Yeah.
Because it could have been, he wasn't complaining oh, it's hurting. He wasn't saying anything along those lines. But I should have looked a little bit more in depth. But honestly, we ran. So we ran out. I'm sure they got the footage of us, me running out first, because Gannon was grabbing his cover, running out behind there because he was caught.
Hey, what time was this so I can maybe tell somebody to look at the footage?
Well, I mean, I told them originally, I don't have access to the ADT now, but I told them because the ADT said it had an alert for fire. So I would imagine whenever that alert went off from ADT, it would have been within that few minutes.
Yeah, fine, I got you.
15 minutes.
Hey, tell me about it. So I'm really concerned about these burns because he's freaking hurt. What? What were they big? Were they small? What was it? Was it from the candle wax or what?
Let me get to that part. It's not going to worry you in a minute when I get to that part.
Okay, because I'm freaking out right now because.
I understand. So when he runs to the car, he runs in because I'm running. He's running behind me. I jump in your truck. The only reason I jump in your truck is the keys were laying there.
Okay.
I jump in your truck. He jumps in on the driver's side. He's screaming, crying, whatever. Lena's in the back seat with the two dogs. We turn your truck on, and we drive the hell off. Don't ask me why we drove off. I was freaked out because I was like, oh my God. It was the carbon, it was the smoke was more scary and terrifying than actually the fire. So
okay.
What we did was we drove around the block, and I kind of had to be like, okay, what do I do? A, do I need to call the police department? B, does anybody need medical attention? So then we go back in the house. Lena's freaked out. I put Lena in our bed. I said, Lena.
So you drove around for how long and then came back?
No, I drove around the block.
Sorry. I didn't hear that. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I drove around the block, Wando, that area.
Yeah, I know.
Pull back up in the drive. You didn't have much gas because I hadn't put gas in your car yet. You didn't have much gas.
Right.
My process of driving was thinking, oh my God, I was in shock. So I pulled back in the driveway and parked. We all get back out, go inside. Lena's freaking out, crying. Lena and I are standing there looking at Gannon. At that point in time, I didn't see anything on his hands, arms, or anything other than take your hand where you're holding your phone and look on the insides where the edges are. That part right there had little bubbly spots. Okay? So they had bubbly spots on both sides of his arm. And I think that was from when he grabbed the cover and I was trying to grab him up and he came down with me with the cover because he was like latched onto the cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was trying to grab the whole cover to put out the fire. So from the inner parts of his arm had these little bubble spots.
So you said both sides, or is it just the inner parts? I'm just trying to, because this might be key information.
Like both sides, left arm, right arm.
I got you. Okay, so both sides of both arms.
From what I remember, both sides of both arms, because he had, when Gannon was laying there and I grabbed him to get him up, okay, because I remember it was that,
Oh, God.
it's one of the covers. I grabbed him to get him up, whatever. He gets in the car, whatever, we're talking, he's explaining to me that he thought I was coming and he was grounded from the switch. So he thought I was coming, and when he thought I was coming, he knocked over the candle.
Okay.
Because apparently he was playing the switch when he shouldn't have been playing it, which is fine.
But he had the candle on the couch, I guess, right?
No, he had sitting on some kind of little, that little white thing that was sitting next to the couch.
Okay. Oh, I got you. I
don't know if the candle fell over. I don't know. I know that when I got there was a fire, and it was on his cover. So I was trying to rip the cover out of his hands to get him up and like jump on the fire. They have pictures of where there's burn marks on my elbow where I jumped on the fire. So we get in the car and he's crying and screaming and telling me he's sorry and he don't want to get in trouble because of the switch. He was on the switch and he shouldn't have been on the switch. And so we drive around the block and I'm like, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Honestly, I flipping lost my mind because I thought in my mind, like, had I not gotten downstairs when I did, had I not heard it or the alarm system or covering outside or whatever, if I would have hit that couch, I don't know that I could have gotten again. And that was my biggest thing that my brain was sitting there like freaked out on. Come back inside. Lena's terrified. I said, Lena, go lay in the bed. She's laying in the bedroom. Gannon was like, he doesn't want to go back to his room. I said, okay, will you lay in Lena's bed? He said yes. He started to say he was cold and had a little bit of shivers. And so I was like, Gannon, I took him and put more clothes on top of him now. Blame it on me. Whatever. I didn't take his clothes off to go through anything, but I asked him, was he hurting? And was anything else, whatever. He told me it was just his arms. So I didn't see anything that would have thrown a flag that I had to be like, oh my God, emergency or think like that. I didn't see anything like that.
But if his arms was bubbling, that's not an emergency?
Well, it hadn't broke skin. Like, it was just like underneath. It hadn't broke skin or whatever.
Okay. All right.
In my mind, I'm like, okay, let's evaluate the situation, tomorrow and see or whatever. It wasn't burn marks like carpet burn or like, anything like that. It was bubbly. And I told them from that, I said, I honestly probably could have, got him in the car and said, hey, can you just check this out to make sure? Because I was, in my mind, in his arms, I didn't see it as a bad thing. I just knew he was like, it's not hurting. We put aloe on it, and I assumed, okay. So then we put on the long sleeve shirt on him because he said he was kind of cold or whatever it was. He lays down in Lena's bed. Lena sleeps in my bed, our bed. Charlie comes home. I go in, and I had already prepped Charlie for what was going on. I was like, hey, don't panic when you get here. I was like, there's smoke, the house is smoky, Gannon, this happened, yada, 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 yada. Lena was scared to go to sleep, so we both went in there and checked on Gannon. We went in there, we gave him water in Lena's bed. We gave him water, we set him up, we were like, are you okay? He was more scared of anything. And so I panicked. Of course, I was like, whoops, someone said something because I said sell the couch. I wasn't talking about sell the couch to fix the daggone carpet. I was talking about, like, I would get rid of that couch and get a new couch. Don't panic. Like, my point was, honestly, I wasn't even going to tell you because I was like, Gannon was scared of being grounded a year. And I was like, I'll buy a new couch. We'll fix the couch. We'll replace everything in here. Don't worry about it. And that was my hope. That as long as you promise me you didn't do it on purpose, you didn't purposely do this to hurt yourself or hurt somebody, we will fix it. And that's how we ended on Sunday. So Gannon was still like, upset. He was not only emotional about the situation, his stomach was hurting. So that's where we were at with Sunday.
Okay.
You give me 1 second to pee.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Right.
All right, so later on in the night, Gannon woke me up a few times. He said his stomach was getting worse. He hadn't pooped yet. I messaged you, but you were already asleep. And I was like, hey, Gannon wants to know if he can stay out of school tomorrow. He's scared of pooping in his pants. I think you probably were still asleep. You might didn't get it until the next day, which is not your fault, my fault. It was time zone and tiredness and whatever.
Yeah. Right.
I stayed up with him a few times in the bathroom. Finally, I was like, okay, I wrote you back. I said, I'm just going to make the decision that Gannon can stay at home tomorrow because he is so terrified about pooping in his pants. So the next morning, I called the nurse's line and I asked the nurse's line about his stomach and giving him Miralax and yada, yada, yada.
You talking about the TRICARE nurses line?
No, the urgent care nurse's line right in front of Fountain and whatever that road is.
I got you.
So I called them and I said, hey, I know typically people are constipated, you give him Miralax, yada, yada, yada. He hasn't really went to the bathroom. He has blood coming out his butt. And so they just basically explained to do the best she could to get him to pass. And if not, then we needed to call our care provider, whatever. People started beating me up over that, saying you didn't need to have a referral to do this. That wasn't what I was trying to say. I was trying to make the point of, does the boy need to have, anything done? Or can I just give him, an enema or something like that? Because I already talked to him about that. So if this don't work, you want me to give him, an enema or something? Because it was a big old turd he was trying to get out.
Yeah.
Right. So then, that morning, we were I said, Gannon, I'm going to stay at home with you today because I don't want you to stay by yourself. Now remember, we've let Gannon stay by himself. He's been responsible, whatever. But in this state, as in his state that he was in, not feeling well, stomach hurting, butt bleeding a little bit here and there, and being embarrassed, I made a decision that it was not okay for him to stay there by himself if he was sick. If he's on normal terms, taking care of his sister, playing his Switch, doing his thing, then that's fine. But I said, Gannon, you're going to need to go with me. I said, there's a few things I need to handle today. He asked me what, and I was going to look at a bike for you. This guy that was on Craigslist, because he had this bike, a touring bike, and I said,
Yeah.
go with me to look at this touring bike or whatever.
And that was Monday?
Yes.
Hey, so did you give him Miralax or the enema or anything like that? What else did you give him?
I have in this notes what day I gave him Miralax.
All right.
Trying to poop regularly took, that was the bath salts day, to Saturday. He had Miralax on Saturday. Yeah, here it is. I gave him ice cream and said it had special stuff. Because I was telling him it was really those Pedialyte ice cream.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And took Miralax. That was on Saturday.
So hold on, I'm trying to just because obviously I'm worried to death about his little arms. Did you rub any cream on it or give him anything for the pain or did he pain medicine or anything like that to help him?
I gave him pain medicine because I didn't have any pain medicine gift. What I gave him was the aloe that was in our bathroom, that green aloe. We even made a little silly joke about it because he wasn't hurting. Remember how I was wrapping Sadie up with the little thing?
Yeah.
I wrapped it around his arms too.
Oh yeah, the little bandages or whatever.
So I put the green aloe on it, and I said, "You can, or do you like Sadie?" And we laughed about it.
Yeah.
Parent laughing about it, being silly. Yes, it hurt a little bit, but being silly about it on his arms. So that.
So he you didn't give him any children's Tylenol or anything?
I didn't give him any kind of he wasn't saying that he was hurting in any kind of pain to give him any kind of Tylenol, to give him anything at all. And if you feel like that would have been a lapse in judgment on my part, then I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to sort through it. I know how both of them are about, every time they scrape their finger or something, they want a Band-Aid. So I would have just assumed that if his arm was all bubbled up, did his arm stay bubbled up until the next day, or did that go down that night, or how that's worrying me too.
Okay, so to get to the next part, Gannon started to peel it.
Wait, when did he start to peel it?
Gannon started to peel it because I guess he was either asleep, I don't know, anxious, I don't know. Monday, he started to peel it,
Okay.
peel his skin.
Yeah, Monday morning or whatever.
Again, I swear to Jesus told detectives this. I said he started to peel it. When he started to peel it, it had I don't want to say not gooey stuff or whatever, but it's almost like it was popping it type thing. And I said,
oh yeah, like a blister or something. Yeah.
I said, listen. I said, if it gets worse, we're gonna drive straight. Okay. And that was already the plan. That's why I didn't go to school. I said, if it gets worse, after I put all that stuff on there, whatever. I'm not that type of person where something happens immediately, run to the hospital. You and I've had that conversation before where you would say every little thing later ran to the hospital. I was trying to evaluate it to see, as long as he was talking fine, normal, acting normal, I didn't see at that point in time that he was under any kind of pain.
I got you.
Or say that to me.
Okay, all right.
That was a lapse in judgment on my part. I apologize. But he started to peel it because, obviously he starts to peel things. So along with peeling that, he started peeling his fingernails. So, and I'm like, that morning, I sent you a picture of Gannon laying in bed on Monday morning to your phone.
Yeah, right.
Gannon was laying in the bed, whatever. I went back in there, checked on him, gave him some more water, made him drink some more Pedialyte because he wasn't eating because he was so upset. And that's when I noticed he started peeling things on his arm. And I said, and at that point in time, which I told you, I told them, Gannon had blood that was on his arm and on the side of his wall. I guess from sleeping through the night, whatever it was, peeling it. Because we toted him back down to his room after Lena decided to go back to bed.
On the side, you said on the side of his wall? You never told me that.
No, I told detectives this.
Oh.
You never talked to me about this.
Okay, fair, fine. I'm just, this is new. I've never heard that before, so now I'm even more worried about him.
So they should have told you this. So then I went in there that morning, sent you a picture. I said, Gannon, why do you have blood on your wall? I was like, it wasn't a lot. Don't panic. It wasn't
Oh, so it wasn't a lot, all over the place? It was just a little streaks or something? Oh.
I said, Gannon, says, did you peel those things? Yes, he did. I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to re-bandage your arm. I says, and if you're feeling bad or it starts bleeding, you get a fever, anything like that, I says, as soon as because I was going to go talk to the man about the bike.
Right.
He said, you have to go there first. You want to go to the hospital now. Of course, maybe I shouldn't have asked the kid that, but based on my judgment and what I was seeing with him, I didn't think that he needed to go right away. We went on about our business. And I said, if you start to feel any pain or hurt or whatever like that, we'll just drive to the base. We'll explain to them what happened with the fire. We monitored it through the night, so on and so on. That was our intent. That was the plan the whole time. Everything. Nothing wavered from doing that at all. Gannon asked me questions. He was just like, why does this happen to me? Why do I always get hurt? Because, he had hurt his foot on the boards outside. And I said, Gannon, we're going to figure all of it out. Don't worry about it. We will replace it. Okay? So Monday morning, after all this, I was like, Gannon, we're going to go find, which I probably shouldn't have said to him that he would have known that it was on him. But I said, we're going to go find someone to replace the carpet. He says, and then we'll get it fixed. We won't worry about it. We'll monitor your arm through the day. Yada, yada, yada. I said, we're going to go get some coffee. Just hang out. And I said, there were some things I need to get for the pet store, and we need to go meet the guy about the bike. Plan was, that's the reason we drove the truck, because if I end up liking the bike, I was going to put the bike on the back of the truck.
Yeah, I got you.
And then also knows that when we left, we took my softball bag, Charlie's softball bag with that, stuff like that in it, helmet, because I was asking him, did he want to stop by to look at those hockey skates? So we took any of that old equipment that I had, and we loaded it in the back of the truck, which was the long Easton bag I have.
Yeah. So you took Harley's bag?
Charlie's bag, because she don't use that bag.
The little book bag, the softball bag that's like a book bag.
Right.
Oh.
So we were going to take it to that sports place and see if they did like trades, whatever.
Yeah.
We were going to surprise Lena when she got home if I could got him 2 new things of skates or hockey skates or whatever. Cause
You talking about Play It Again Sports over there that we went to?
That's why we were so far across town.
I gotcha.
All right, so that was our plan for Monday. Go to Play It Again Sports, get some coffee. We needed to get gas, and we were going to monitor his arm along the way. Go check on the thing about the bike.
Right.
We go to drive around. I think we went to Dunkin' Donuts first, and then the gas store, or it might have been by its first.
Like over by our house, Dunkin' Donuts.
Went to Dunkin' Donuts by our house. Dunkin' Donuts Sharon lady already released the video of us going there. You can see my arm reach out the window. I can grab. Sorry, I didn't mean to say effing. I'm just over all this. Grab the coffee out the car. Then I turned around because I was about to get Gannon a Frappuccino, but he said he didn't want it. So then we drive off from the Dunkin' Donuts. So then we drive off from the Dunkin' Donuts and we go up. I turned 87 somehow, but meant to turn on 25. Needless to say, I went up the bottom.
80? You mean 85?
Yeah, 85, 87. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
I went up towards Nevada, which is where Harley gets her eyelashes done, that type of area.
Well, past? Wait, you talking about past Walmart and all that? Not towards Fountain, the other way, right?
For the roads. Okay, remember when we went to the recycle at before and the road split?
Yeah, way down there, close to. Yeah, okay. But that's towards Walmart. Turn. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Okay, so that's the route that I take, which I'm sure they had because I'm not hiding anything from or the GPS that I took. So I went that way first, and I realized I was like, oh crap! I was like, I probably should have got on the other exit because I really didn't know. Not lately, I've been trying to find my way around, what exits to get off of, things like that. So I get off and realize, oh, this is the way to where we went to the recycle thing at. So I just kept driving, and it ends up making a curve and turning you back to 25, Nevada, and all that. And I was like, oh, there's the Petco. I was going to go to PetSmart, but we ended up Petco, so whatever, same thing.
Petco? You went to Petco, way over there?
That's the only Petco there is.
I don't know. The only one I know is the one we went to by Target that one day.
I might know Harley's work.
Yeah, that's PetSmart though, isn't it?
Right, that's what I was saying.
I got you.
I was going to go to PetSmart, but I went to Petco.
I got you.
So I go to Petco and walk inside. Gannon wanted to stay in the car playing the Switch. He was like, you want to stay in the car playing the Switch. Again, Colorado law is he could sit in the car at 11 years old.
Oh, so he had it. So he took his Switch with him.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. He had his Switch, playing his Switch in the back of the car.
You talking about a truck, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, in the back of the truck.
Okay.
So he was playing his Switch in the back of the truck. Well, I went in the first time and yada, yada, yada. I was going in because Sadie has been having I don't even know what it is. She needs to get her vet paperwork so I can get her checked. I didn't know girl dogs have periods or stuff come out. I didn't know this. So I walked in and found these little pads that they had. And I'm looking at them, whatever. And I set the phone down because I'm and my mind is so blown that dogs have this. So I'm looking at it, freaking out, thinking, okay, should I get these or should I just call the the bed. Maybe it's just something weird coming out of her body parts or something like that. Whatever it may be. So then, go back up to the front, look around. I look out the door several times. And these people I know have said, she was suspicious looking out the door. I was looking out the front door just to make sure nobody was at the truck because Gannon was in it. That's all. It was just, he was in the truck. And what if he needed to get out and pee or, whatever. That was the only reason I kept walking back to the freaking front door just to make sure he was fine. He was in the truck. So then I get 3 outfits. God forbid I got 3 outfits and only had 2 dogs. Because, of course, this is what these people talked about. I got 3 outfits, checked out, walked out, got in the car. From there, we were going to go to the play against Ford.
But wait a minute, why were you so? I'm kind of confused because like you said you were worried about him getting out, but like we've gone to the gas station and like he's never tried to get out of the car. So what was I don't know, maybe that's nothing, but what made you freak out that day?
Parked on the front row. I was parked a little bit off, so like if he needed to get out and use the bathroom or he was looking for me or whatever.
Okay, yeah. I was just, that kind of was weird because, like, he's usually, he does what we tell him, stays in the car. But anyways, go ahead.
Right. But not Albert. Exactly, he does. Just like I told you, he could have stayed at home on a normal basis. But he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah,
so I was
fine. I got you.
What if you had to poo? Whatever.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be a good parent. That's it. It wasn't no...
I know.
Looking in the car.
I got you. It just was weird that you said that, but it's okay. I'll just go ahead.
So I went on, got the things checked out, left. I don't remember if we were stopped at another store in between there or what. We were headed to go to the Planet Against Sports, and we were headed to go talk to the dude about the bike. Well, they had my phone, so they could see that the guy wrote the back about the bike with the pictures. And I was asking about prices and yada, 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 yada. And I was like, I didn't want to go to the man's house with the bike, without I wanted it to be legit, I got me in the car and I only had me in the car, I got Gannon in the car. So I thought, I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to make sure this is legit. So I'm like, send me a picture of the bike. Can you call? Can you whatever? And like, he wasn't acting like, was wanting to give me information that he could meet me at a safe spot to go look at the bike.
So you weren't going to go to his house or something? He was just going to meet you in general?
I told him messages that I didn't want to just go to some random person's house, and that's probably why they're looking at this whole Douglas County thing, because he lived almost at Douglas County.
Okay, that does sound sketchy. That was probably a good decision, so.
Yeah, so again, in an open book with them. They took my GPS and everything. We got to Douglas County, and me and Gannon was talking about it, and he was like, "Do you know this guy?" And I was like,
"So wait, I missed the part. You said so you went to Petco, but you said you were going to play it again. Did you never go to play it again? I forgot."
We didn't never make it to play it again. That was on our agenda, but we were trying to go for the bike first.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was a priority first. Okay. So I was gonna go out to meet the guy with the bike, and somehow they have my email. They subpoenaed all that. They can see the information coming from the Craigslist. Okay.
Oh, it was Craigslist.
So someone had something on Craigslist.
Oh man, that's sketchy, isn't it? Yeah, I don't trust that shit. You there?
You went and bought wood and stuff on Craigslist.
Yeah, I mean, for you to do it, and Craigslist, I never trust that shit because they always have those sketchy people doing, I don't know, stupid stuff like meet and greets and stuff. You always told me about that, remember?
Yeah, but this was just a bike for sale.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm worried about you and my son's safety. That's what that's
my point. That's why I realized, I said, well, we rode through, okay, so when you go up Palmer Lake heading to Douglas County or whatever, we went that way. It was supposed to be that the guy had a warehouse somewhere between the Palmer Lake area or whatever.
What, a warehouse of bikes or something?
he said he had a couple bikes that he used to do riding and touring and
okay.
stuff like that.
Like those bikes I was looking at doing those rides, like through Alaska or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
So get out on this road. So if you're on, I want to say it's exit 165 or 163. Okay, I think that's what I want to say the exit was.
Oh, on 25.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how you're going to before you get to Castle. Oh, it's where we went to take the Remember how if traffic is backed up, you can take that back road.
Oh yeah, before you get to like 182 where the outlets are or whatever.
You can take that back road.
Yeah.
The Castle Rock.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so it was off that, but to the right side, not to the bougie side where like the boonies and stuff was at. It was off that way to the right side. So I originally got off, and again, they can see this on my GPS. I got off, I went left, and went down that little hill where the little people were at, and I thought, this can't be the right way, because he was saying something about signs and all this. Turned around at the little, I don't know, woods or whatever, came back up, went across the street, realized it was on that right side. I think it's called like Palmer Lake or something like that. Supposed to be looking for this place, still didn't see it, and then it ended up being like all mountainy and dark. I say dark, it wasn't dark in the day, but like, you know.
Yeah, like woods and stuff, yeah.
We turned around, left out of there, and I was like, well, this doesn't even look too great. Again, let them go search that area all they want to. They're parking up the fucking wrong tree because all we did was went through there looking around and trying to figure out where this warehouse was supposedly at.
So you were in the truck or out of the truck?
We're in the truck.
Oh, you had me worried. I'm like, you're out of the truck in the woods looking for a warehouse?
No, it was just driving through there. It was like down, around, up, around. You know, Colorado has all these mountains and shit like that. So I came back out, got back on 25, and was like, crap. I was like, I don't even like think that was a good place. Me and Gannon was like, why can't we just go buy it at the store? Don't they have them at Walmart? You know, and so we were like talking. I was like, yeah, I'll just figure out another place to get a bike. Because the whole thing was I was going to buy you the bike and surprise you for Valentine's Day for it. That was like the whole shebang.
Yeah, I would love that for sure.
At this point, we never got to play it against sports because it was approaching the time that we needed to be headed back.
Okay.
So I said, Gannon, I'll just come back and go to play it against sports again later. Don't worry about it. Your daddy and I have been talking about getting hockey sticks. So we come back up, heading back towards the house, because, we had to get back to Lena. Oh, I forgot to tell you a point that we left that day because I put my notebook down. Let me go back to this. On Monday. Okay. On Monday.
If you would want to take afternoon recess now, we've still got a long ways to go on this particular phone call. It's 3:00. Do you want
Yeah. How much longer do we have to go? That had crossed my mind, so.
So we got about another hour to go.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll take a break now. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break until about 3:20. If I can have everyone back in the jury room at that point in time. We should be able to start on time. Again, don't discuss case among yourselves. Don't discuss case with anyone else. With that, all rise for the jury, please. You may all be seated. Record should reflect the jury has left the courtroom. We'll take a recess until 3:20 then. Mr. Cook is already dealing with the issue. He's going to talk about. Okay. All right, then we'll see everybody back at 3:20. Thank you.
All rise.
What'd you? I'll go see. Oh.
Dave, I see you looking longingly over at all our binders over here.
What's that?
I see you looking envious at all our binders over here.
Yeah, it's old school stuff.
Jack, how are you gonna wake us up? Ah, your secret candy stack. Oh, yeah. Judge Fendorf keeps a secret stack of candy. Huh? She doesn't eat it, but she keeps it.
That was weird. You guys just started talking and it was in my ear.
Oh, is it a song? Okay.
Court will recall 20 CR 1358, People versus LETECIA Stauch. Record should reflect the jury is not present in the courtroom. Is there anything we need to bring up outside the presence of the jury at this point in time?
No, Judge, it might be a good idea when we're playing this one because it's so warm. I might stop it after about 30 more minutes, give jurors a chance to maybe stand up and then pick it back up, just so we're not.
That's fine.
Falling asleep, just so you know.
That's fine. It's,
You would?
I would.
Were you not enough?
it's a little better now than it was when we first started.
Yeah.
It's not quite as hot, but I don't know why, but it is warm in here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and bring the jury in then. Yeah, it's a little cooler, but it's still hot. That's true. That's true. That's true. The refrigerator that I have is warmer than my chamber. What?
Just like right now.
I will tell them about the 520 snow.
What?
I will tell them about 520 snow. I forgot to do that once in May, and we had all that snow and had to continue. The courthouse was closed, actually. Oh, wait. Okay. All rise for the jury, please. You may all be seated. Court will recall 20 CR 1358, People versus LETECIA Stauch. Record should reflect the jury has returned to the courtroom. Before we start or resume playing the, before we resume playing the audio that we were playing just a few minutes ago, I know that there is perhaps a weather change that is on the way, and I wanted to let all of you know the best way to find out whether or not there's something that's going on with the courthouse, 520 snow. And it will have on there if there is, if the courthouse is closed or if it's delayed, and I don't anticipate that. I'm just telling you, so that if it becomes an issue, that's the fastest way to find out. And we'll leave it at that. And I'm giving you that warning because I one time forgot to do that in a trial in May, and we had like, I don't know, 18 inches of snow overnight, and I was going, really? But anyway, so that's where and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to play, we've got about an hour of audio left to go. We're going to play about 30 minutes, and then we're going to stop the audio, and we're going to do sort of a seventh inning stretch and have everybody stand and stretch and things like that. And then we will finish out the audio. So, Mr. Allen?
Thank you, Judge. And just for record keeping purposes, we're playing People's Exhibit 35, which is that pretext call on February 13th, 2020 at 1:11 p.m.
Yes.
When Gannon and I left, we found someone in the neighborhood who was working for the Lorson Ranch people. So this is why I came back to you and said I didn't think it was the carpet guy. I say working for the Lorson Ranch people. I don't know who he worked for.
Like whatever that Emery Homes or whatever it's called.
He was working for the home company. I approached the guy, asked him, could he go fix the carpet? You know, that was before we even hit the road.
So that was before Dunkin' Donuts and all that?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I meant to tell you this. So it was before Dunkin' Donuts and all that. So I gave him the garage code because he apparently worked for the company or whatever. I gave him the garage code and told him I had money sitting on the counter because Harley was gonna I remember I've been playing those lottery ticket things. I would
Yeah.
get tens because I was like, well, he could just have those tens and I'll get more money from it. That's why I had one on the lottery. Well, that's why I thought that the carpet person, had access to the house, whatever. Come to find out later on, he didn't even make it there. But I'll get to that point when we get there.
But why would you give him access to the house?
Well, because he was
Yeah, but
contract, like part of the people, and Gannon was with me.
okay, all right.
So I didn't think anything was a threat if the children were with me.
Yeah, I got you.
Someone was going to come in or whatever.
But that you know how I am about that stuff too, right? I mean, that's. Anyways, I don't want to stop you. Just that kind of worries me there. But go ahead. You there?
I didn't give him the code to be any kind of whatever.
No.
I was trying to get the carpet fixed so the boy could not be so upset.
I got it. I just don't like. You know how I am. I don't like people having access to our house and stuff. But, whatever. Just go on because I don't think that's a big deal. So.
Anyway, so back to what I was saying.
Sorry.
I wanted to make sure I didn't leave out that point.
Okay.
So, fast forwarding on, we have to hurry up. We have to get back because I knew that Lena would be coming home at some point. The original plan was we were going to go pick Lena up. That was the original plan. To be like, hey, we're going to go eat sushi tonight because everybody been talking about eating sushi.
Yeah.
Gannon wanted to stay at home. And I was like, no, Gannon, you probably shouldn't stay at home. You still aren't feeling the best, whatever. You should not stay at home. I said, so we're all going to eat sushi. If you don't like it, you can just get rice, chicken, yada, yada. So that was our plan for the day. We got home about, I don't know what time the alarm got set off. 2:30, 2:45, whatever the whole crap is. Okay? Well, I noticed that during the time frame, I set the alarm to alarm away. And I have it from the ADT.
Okay.
When we left. Somehow, during some point, the alarm changed from alarm away to alarm stay.
What point?
I had all this, and which was on my phone that they took.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I called ADT and I said, "Hey, what are the steps in alarm going to arm away to arm stay?" And they instructed me that if the door was not open with a sensor, it could have been that you accidentally set the house to alarm away, and it would have went to arm stay if it noticed movement that was already in the house.
Oh, I got you.
Right. But there's a sensor on the garage door.
Right.
Okay? So keep this in mind prior
There's a
to
sensor on the garage door?
I know, on the door coming in from the garage, there's no sensor.
No, you said there was. So, there's not. I didn't think there was.
Yeah, I was saying there's no sensor. I might have said it so fast. I was saying there's no sensor.
Okay. Sorry. I misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
So either you can come in, you could set the alarm to arm away, and you can walk in through the garage, and it will immediately go to arm stay. Or you can set it to arm away, and when the dogs move, and it will go to arm stay. As long as that back glass door wasn't triggered, and that front door wasn't triggered, it will not change.
Okay.
So
All right.
keep that in mind, okay? So this whole thing about your neighbor, he got paid $5,000 to release this video. It's a proven fact, okay? It's already been looked at by tens of thousands of people, and it's been investigated. Gannon Stauch got out the other side of the vehicle.
Okay. All right.
Shadows, movements, infrared, whatever you want to call it. Gannon got out the other side of the vehicle. Okay.
So all right. So he's home with you now, is what you're saying. At this point in the timeline.
Yeah, so it's like maybe 2:45 or 2:30. I'm not sure exactly, but in that time frame before Lena got home, I'm getting out, going in the house, or whatever. Gannon goes in, and Gannon goes straight to his room. I go upstairs because I was had wanted to try to get on that Peloton the other night. Didn't get a chance to. Put my headphones on, yada, yada, yada. So I'm in there. Gannon had asked me, that you said that he could go with a friend. You then text me, I don't know exactly what time, but at some point in time, you had told me, don't let Gannon go with a friend or something.
Yeah, right.
Gannon came back and said that you said he could go with a friend and come back later tonight. Again, I said, your daddy said you can play with your friends in the neighborhood, but you cannot go with some friend in some car or whatever it may be. Put my headphones back on. That was where this gets where I have completely parts of the information and not parts of the information. I hear another loud noise downstairs. Not even about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes later, maybe 20 minutes. Yes.
But I thought you said you were doing the Peloton.
No, I said I've been wanting to go back and get on the Peloton because I didn't get to
Oh, okay.
the other night. So I had my headphones on and I was kind of like trying to get in the pre-workout mode or whatever you want to call it, because my goal had been trying to get on the Peloton every day.
Yeah, right.
So then I heard another noise again, and I was like, I pulled them off my ears. I know they're noise counseling, but I also am not stupid. I don't wear them all the way on my ears because they freaking hurt. And I was like, Gannon! Didn't hear anything. And I just thought he's down there bumping and flopping and, doing his thing, whatever it may be. Still sitting there, just chilling, doing whatever. Heard another loud noise. And I thought, okay, this is it. Like, I thought he was stomping around, doing crazy things, whatever. He's supposed to be going to go play with a friend. When I walked downstairs at that original point in time, I thought that guy was the carpet guy. Similarities? I didn't really remember exactly what he looked like, but I remember some of the details. Now, fast forward, you'll hear me say night after night after night after night, I dreamed of different things that have added detail to this. I thought it was the carpet guy because there was carpet everywhere, boxes, you name it. That was the loud noises that I heard. Next thing I know, I'm out. Blacked out. And which I told you this.
Yeah. So what I'm concerned about with that is, did he take all those boxes and carpet with him when he left?
The carpet was already in the house.
Oh, but what about I just don't remember seeing any of that stuff when we got there. Did you is that part of what you cleaned up or whatever?
No, the carpet was, I saw it there when the police watched me take my stuff out.
Okay, but you also mentioned he had a bunch of boxes and stuff. But I mean, it's not a big deal. I was just wondering because
boxes like laid out everywhere.
Right.
I just told the detectives I thought we were getting robbed.
Okay, I got you.
I thought that was the whole point of boxes was to get robbed.
Okay, all right.
On Gannon's table, which I'm sure that had to been if it was swiped correctly, I hit my head on the back of Gannon's table. Like hard. On the back of Gannon's table.
What table? The one I made him?
Yes.
Like the back of it up against the wall?
No, as in the back of my head, and there was the table right there.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the back of the table. I'm sorry.
No, the back of my head, his table. Okay. So from there, a lot of it was a blur because I hit my head.
I got you.
I just remember certain pieces here and there. I remember Gannon running and like jumping on the guy who I thought at the time was the carpet guy, and I thought we were about to get robbed. I just remember bits and pieces like that, trying to push him off, and all I remember now that I sit back and remember, like, play it in my head again, play it in my head again, play it in my head again. It was a very calm conversation with Gannon and this person. I just remember him asking questions, the same questions he asked me, they were talking about. And who do you have me on speakerphone with? Because I know you do.
What are you talking about, Tisha?
Who's listening to my conversation?
Me and you. I'm trying to figure out, like I told you the whole time, the truth. I just want the truth.
Okay, so during that time, I heard that same thing that Gannon asked me about knowing his mommy. Why do you think I've been adamant about you saying to you, oh my God, there's a piece that we're not putting together, that we're not missing. There's something different. I don't know how to put it all together. But Gannon knew something about something. And all I kept hearing him say was, do you know where Uncle Matt is at? I don't even know who Uncle Matt is.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of the only Matt I know of is what's her name? Your sister.
Well, that would be his uncle, and he wouldn't know him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why when you said that 20 minutes ago or whatever, I just like, I had never heard no Uncle Matt, so.
When I woke up and like out of this state of confusion, going crazy, whatever was going on, I remember Gannon saying he will be back later.
Okay. Like Uncle Matt saying he'd be back later?
Gannon said he would be back later.
Oh, Gannon said, okay, all right.
So in my mind, I'm like, did I really like what the fuck just went on? Okay. Hit my head twice. Had to fight off some dude that I explained to them and gave them a description of the whole entire time. Okay. I have been adamant about this and about finding this person.
Is that the Mexican guy you told me about, the Mexican guy?
He was dark skinned, and I say Mexican because I assume
Tisha, you just said she. You mean he was dark skinned?
I never said she, I said he.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. It sounded like you said she. I'm hearing things again. I'm sorry.
Mexican guy, okay? I gave him the description of that, but to me, dark skinned, I mean, their own stepfather could look Mexican.
Are you talking about Mike?
Right, and
Yeah.
it wasn't Mike. You know how it is in the first 4 to 5 weeks of being pregnant. That's my mind was completely fucking gone. And my mind jumped up after everything. And I said,
Why would I not want you? I don't understand what you mean by that.
tried. I didn't know what was going on. All of it was a blur, in and out, trying to figure out. I got up at one point and ran to the door and sent Lena away. Sure, anybody in a logical state of mind could have said, why didn't you give Lena a note to run to the neighbors? He knew everything. He knew everything about us. He knew our names. He knew where we worked. He knew where Harley worked. He knew where we drove.
So back up a second too. So just because I want to know about Gannon's distraught or anything?
Harley was, she was just looking at me like, what in the world? I said, please just go get the items. And Harley was like, what are they? I was like, carpet spray for the dog smell and the carpet powder for the dog smell. And Lena and Harley left.
Okay. All right.
Because I didn't want Lena and Harley to come in. And there you got 2 more people involved in this. He's downstairs with Gannon. I don't know what in the hell is going on. I'm freaked out like if I'm in some Lifetime movie. And no matter who I called or said anything to, they're going to do me just like they're doing me now. Came back downstairs. Tried to plead with him about what was exactly going on. He had Gannon wrapped in his arm, like his arm around him, and was saying,
Tisha, hold on just a second. I'm trying to understand. So, oh my goodness. So you're downstairs and all this is going on and the guy is downstairs and you send Lena away? You come upstairs and send Lena away while the guy's still downstairs?
right, or did you want Lena to come in and be there too?
No, I'm just trying, babe, I'm just trying to understand everything because some of this is new information for me that you didn't tell me initially. So I'm just trying to process.
You wouldn't let me sit there and talk to you.
Okay.
You treated me like a criminal.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand it. So I'm just trying to sort through all of it. So keep going. Thank you for clarifying though.
You tried over it.
What's wrong?
I tried so hard.
You tried so hard to do what?
I was trying to protect everybody, but I couldn't get back upstairs. Once I let Lena go, I don't know. I couldn't even figure out what to do. If I ran outside
So this was, so you sent Lana to the mailbox or you sent her with Harley? Did
Then
it?
I to the mailbox, and it's
Okay.
when Holly gets there, and I sent Holly a message, and I sent Holly a message like quickly and said, "Please get Lane as soon as you get back and go to Dollar Tree. I'll explain later."
Oh, so you sent her a message and then went back downstairs?
Right, because I was trying to check on Gannon.
But I thought you said you saw Harley when she got home.
I did. I sent her a message to let her know they both. Lena pulled up. Lena came up.
Okay.
I sent Lena to the mailbox. Harley pulled right up. Look at the camera. Since your neighbor has every fucking camera footage, he should be able to see that they came up, and I freaking sent them right away.
Well, I'll probably have to pay him another $5,000 to get him to do that, so I don't think that's going to happen. It's bullshit, ain't it?
So I went back down. It's not funny because he did get paid.
No, I'm not. It's bullshit.
So he went back downstairs. I went back downstairs, and I'm like trying to figure out, and he's just telling him that he had a new family and like all kinds of things. And I'm sitting there trying to grab Gannon, and next thing I'm on the ground again. And you can't overpower someone when they put their fingers on your mouth.
And this was in Gannon's room again?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
No one tried to help. No one cared. People treating me like a criminal. When I came through, I woke up. Whatever I could say and look around and think, I thought I was in a dream. And I woke up. And Gannon was gone.
And that was the second time you went downstairs and he hurt you.
Second time he hurt me, and once I woke up from that, Gannon was gone.
Okay, so you blacked out again, is what you're saying.
Yes, because
Okay.
I had several times, because I was trying, what I was trying to do, I was trying inside the closet, our closet door in there. I was trying to get in there, because I was like, man, there has to be something in there that I can just like swing, whatever. I didn't know how to use the freaking big gun, so if I'd have left out from sending Harley and Lena away, I didn't know how to use your big gun, like the assault rifle. And my gun wasn't in the spot that it always was, because you know why? My gun was already in my car.
But babe, I'm just trying to understand here. You told me initially that the gun was in the house and that he grabbed it or
Black gun. He had your black gun. Yours.
he had my little pistol, right?
The black one, yes.
Okay, all right. Because I thought maybe I'm wrong, but I thought initially you said your gun. That's why I was confused.
No, my gun was outside.
In the car. Okay.
Your black gun. That's why I was terrified. He knew everything about us. He was threatening us. Every single thing. He knew what kind of car that your mom had drove there and stayed there the whole time in a rental car.
Hey, when did you bring your gun back in after all this happened?
You told me to go get all the guns together.
No, that was when I was collecting them. You said your gun was in the car.
No, Albert. On the phone call with me, you said go check and see and be accountable for all the guns. When I told you,
Yeah, because you had stored them downstairs in those. My gun was in the. I don't know about yours, but my gun was in one of the totes. Remember, you had put it there.
because the lady was babysitting.
Okay, so the guy had the gun and he put it back in the tote?
No, he didn't put the gun back in the tote. The gun was left there.
So you put it back in the tote?
The gun was left there. Gannon was gone. It was like I thought he was hiding. I legit thought I was in complete shock and thought Gannon was hiding.
Okay.
I even mentioned to the girls, I go, because I was shocked, culture shock, thinking, what the fuck happened? Oh my God, like, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. I didn't get the time to even go through any of the emotions of it all to think what happened, because all I could immediately do was go into, like, the defense mode of being like, oh my God, okay, get the girls out of here. Okay, Gannon's going to be back by the time he's supposed to be back. Because in the end, when Gannon was leaving, I remember him asking him, was he going to take him to Uncle Matt's house? I remember that being blacked out. So Gannon freely went with him. I don't know Uncle Matt. I'm not fucking crazy.
So he left with Uncle Matt in a car or something, or in a van, or you don't know?
That's why he left in. I just know that the whole thing started to add up.
About 30 minutes, Judge.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's everybody stand and stretch for a moment.
Really, they want to do the wave, at least some of them.
I know those chairs are not the most comfortable. Right. And, you know, while this is going on, you can, as I said, during jury selection, if some of you need to, you can stand, you can stretch, you can do what you need to do, and that's okay. So. All right. Okay. Yep. Let's go ahead and start it again.
Gannon kept going outside with some gate. Gannon had to be talking to somebody outside of that gate. I begged the fucking El Paso County police officers to find anything on that side of the house where Gannon might have went out at night talking to whoever it was. And any cars that was parked on that side of the house. Nobody helps me.
Okay, so I'm trying to just, this is what's bothering me about this part, and I want to be real with you because we're trying to work together on this, but I went and asked all the neighbors, myself, like cameras in front of our house, to the side of our house, everything, to look and see if Gannon left the house anywhere from like 2 to 4, 4:30, anything like that, and no cameras have him leaving. So, I mean, I don't...
What kind of cameras? Are they like Rogers that run 24/7?
Yes, like 3, 4, 5 of the neighbors have those 24/7 cameras. And then some are like ours, which are motion censored.
Okay, which ones? Because we need to know which direction that their cameras are pointed in order for that to happen.
Okay, well, that's something we can look into.
No,
Okay, that's something we need to look into. So either they went out in front, I'm assuming, right?
not the front door.
So what, the garage?
I would say the garage or either out the back door because Gannon had the gate code, like the key. And he kept going out there with this key or trying to unlock it or keep it unlocked with this key.
Okay, hold on. So I understand. So now, Gannon, with all this going on, Gannon tells the guy there's a key to the gate, and then they get
No.
and bring the key back in
No.
the house?
No. Did you listen to my story?
Yeah,
The other night, Gannon kept going outside with the gate. I'm thinking that the gate was automatically left unlocked.
Oh, okay. Did you lock it back before I got home?
No, I didn't lock anything.
Okay, all right.
Didn't do anything unless they locked it or the police locked it because Harley
Okay.
said the police put cameras in it and locking it.
Okay,
Locking everything up.
we can find that out. Maybe the police locked it back up. So fair enough. So that's just all that kind of is blowing my mind. You know, he wasn't seen leaving. The key to the gate was in the house. The gun was where it's supposed to be. I'm just trying to figure it all out, Tisha. That's all.
The gun wasn't where it was supposed to be because I put the gun back in when you told me to collect them.
Okay. Well, hopefully,
The gun was upstairs.
they got my gun now, so hopefully they can get this Mexican guy's fingerprints. So.
Yeah, would be perfect to me. It's nothing but from day one.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to get. So get all them this information. You know, I think the FBI is in on it now. So we're trying to get them all this information. Look for a fingerprint on the gun. You know, maybe they haven't looked there. Look for a fingerprint on the lock of the gate. You know, stuff like that as the little things that they may have missed, you know, during this process.
Why? Why would they have not have done that? And maybe I'm just upset by this because I feel like they barked up the wrong tree for 2 fucking weeks, Albert.
It's been 3 weeks almost, Tisha. Yes, I agree.
Bothering me.
I agree with you. I'm as frustrated as anybody because I don't know anything. And
So, do you think I did this?
Tisha Stauch, I don't know. I'm just trying.
Really?
I'm trying to help you. Okay, I'm trying to help you get the truth out there. But you've got to tell me the truth, okay? I know.
Here's what I told the police. The only difference is I thought it was the carpet person, but once I went around because I was freaking out trying to figure out, I was like, if I could go get this fucker and bring him in, and I drove through the neighborhood, the description that I gave El Paso is exactly what I saw. But that is not the exact description that I gave of this carpet person. So my point behind that was, I don't think it was the carpet person because I eliminated him because he didn't have craters on his face.
He did or didn't? So, but hold on. You know what? Something. Remember how? Oh my goodness! Thinking back to this whole that trip you made for the bike. You never found the guy, right? The Craigslist guy?
Started looking creepy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't think that this Craigslist guy had anything to do with you? I mean, not you, but you know what I mean. Oh, I'm freaking out. Sorry. And you don't think that Craigslist guy followed you or just found you? Maybe you told him, "Hey, I'm driving my husband's red Frontier, and I'll meet you there," or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of anything.
Okay, so let's say it's him. What I don't like is that people are sitting here saying, well, there's nothing that shows you guys leaving. If there's nothing at this point in time, it's starting to get dark. Because in case you didn't know, in Colorado, it's getting dark around that time. Okay? There has to be something that points to that direction that shows any shadows, movement, anything. And if it didn't, it was because the ring sensitivity didn't pick it up.
All right, so listen, I want to be clear with you that I don't give a flip about social media. You know that. I don't have Facebook. I'm not on there, so I don't know what these people are saying. So me and you focus on us getting to the bottom of what's going on, okay? Let's try to block out that other stuff so we can get the truth here. Man, this Craigslist thing is really driving me nuts now. Do you think that when did you go? What was the time frame you went there again? You went to Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Because they have whatever time they have me on footage. The first time at Petco.
Oh, at Petco. So after that is when you left.
Because I went back to Petco to get more clothes.
Okay, so you went. So then when did you go back to Petco after the Craigslist trip?
Yeah.
Oh. And you said the guy was already in the house before you got there, you think?
When I got there, the guy was most definitely in the house or had already been in the house waiting or whatever it may be, which is why I thought it was the carpet guy because that was the person that I gave the garage
Yeah, you gave the garage code to him. Yeah, right.
The more I laid and the more I slept and the more I kept worrying about it and thinking about it and yada, yada, yada. Gannon kept having his room door locked. I was even so terrified to think that this person even spent the night in our home.
Oh, you think he was there the whole time?
I don't know. Do you know how worried I've been about this?
I know, that's freaking me out because remember those other stories you were talking about people coming in the back door and stuff while they thought people were away? I've been going through all that in my head too.
Albert, I've done nothing but look, I have this book right here. You can hear it. It's like of all anything and everything that I thought of that might have been out of order, that
So maybe
you think I don't want my life back? You think I don't want my family back?
I know. Trust me, me too.
I'm tired of being portrayed as one.
Okay, but you gotta help me because I'm trying to sort through all this and put a good timeline together so I can tell somebody reached out from the FBI and I'm trying to tell them a timeline of what I know. All right, I'm trying to make sure they get the truth the first time. This lady that called me. Okay, so.
Are people not going after this? Why?
I don't know. Maybe the FBI is. I don't know. I know they're doing everything they can. Maybe they missed some things we don't know. But listen, something you told me that first day that I'm trying to figure out when did you do the? Right, you said you cleaned everything up.
cleaned everything up.
Yeah, from Gannon's room or wherever you got, somebody did bad things to you or whatever.
I was just talking about like the clothes I had on and like shoes and stuff.
Oh, so you just changed your clothes and then threw them away like you said, and whatever Gannon had on, you said you threw that away too?
They got that out of the back of the trash. It was a shirt that he wore that was burnt and stuff like that.
Oh.
That's what I meant, like cleaned up. I didn't mean like clean up anything bad or anything. I'm just saying like I didn't want to keep that stuff on and call and police.
But you told me that first day you cleaned up the whole area because you didn't want Lena to see it when she got home. That's what you told me.
Yeah, my clothes and my underwear. You want me to really go in depth about that?
I'm not trying to make you relive anything that happened to you. I'm just trying to. There's just some truth that I'm trying to find about. I mean, if something was cleaned up or something, then I don't know. Maybe.
Me, whatever you're trying to say to me, don't just be honest.
I just don't want the police to miss anything else. Okay, I mean, we think they've missed all these other pieces, and then I mean, if you cleaned up something that could give them DNA evidence on this Mexican guy, then we need it.
Took my whole DNA from this. They wouldn't let me pee. The hospital bill that I sent you was the whole kit on my body.
But tell me, why did you tell me? I just don't understand why you told me you cleaned up an area, and then now you're telling me you just changed your clothes. That's
When you're talking about cleaning up the area, I'm talking about from Gannon. Like, Gannon had, from his burn marks, there was blood on the wall and on the light switch. So you cleaned up whatever Gannon's stuff, what blood or whatever was, right? Prior.
Oh, where was that at?
In his room when he woke up Monday morning.
But like where? But where in his room? You did say the wall because he was wiping his fingers on the wall or something.
I don't know if he wiped his fingers on his wall. I just know his arm probably hit the wall when he was asleep.
Oh, I got you. Okay, all right. So you clean that up, okay? Because I never saw that. That's the first I heard of it. So you cleaned up wherever his blisters or his burn mark hit the wall. Did you clean something else up?
Light switch from where he touched it.
Oh, but that was after you showed it to me.
Yes.
Yeah, you showed it to me and Lena and then told me that he was picking his fingernails so bad that he bled so bad, remember?
Yes, he did pick his fingernails.
Oh, okay. So he picked his fingernails and I'm just trying to clarify, picked his fingernails and his blister or his burn mark or whatever.
What do you mean? Gannon picks everything that's open.
I'm not.
Why are you acting like you're got me on some trial with this? He picks his fingers all the time.
Babe, because
It's open.
Babe, you're absolutely right about that. But I don't know why you feel like you're on trial. I'm talking to my wife, trying to figure out the truth. And like I told you before, the truth hasn't always lined up. So I just want to find out all the details so we can find Gannon. That's it.
Robert, I gave you every detail. But you were coming at me saying, I thought you did this afterwards. Gannon bleeds all the time.
Right.
Gannon has huge nosebleeds. Did you tell him the nosebleeds from your truck is from Gannon?
When did he have a nosebleed in my truck?
Oh my God, don't even play. It's been there since Alaska. And the top part of your truck, you have his hands had blood marks on it from like a year and something ago.
Maybe. I'm not doubting you. I don't know. I just don't remember that, but that may have happened. I know he has had a nosebleed once in a while. I don't remember that in Alaska.
Nosebleeds are like in Colorado, or at least once every week or two. Every week or two, Gannon has a nosebleed. This is where I get angry. Like, people come up here and talk all this shit, and they don't even know him.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the people are saying on social media. I don't even bother with that. And I haven't for a long time. But I'm just trying to. All right.
Just say what you got to say, Albert.
I'm just trying to retrace some steps in my head. So the Mexican guy. Did you see like anybody I'm trying to think of this Craigslist. Did he have a picture, or did he like give you any information about him? Like, hey, I'm, other than where to find him at or anything like that? I mean, what was the framework of like how you set up that to meet him?
Everything is on my phone, Albert.
Babe, I don't know. I guess they got your phone. You keep telling me that, but I'm just trying to figure out how you went about doing this. So maybe we can, that freaking lady that called me bugging the shit out of me from the FBI, maybe that's something relevant. I don't know.
I reached out to him. They have access to my phone.
Okay.
On my phone, I click the Craigslist thing, which generates this whole number, something, whatever the email they do to protect the people that are selling stuff. I had all that and access to my phone for that. I have limited access because a lot of my stuff didn't load. A lot of it weren't backed up. My emails weren't backed up. My notes weren't backed up. The only thing backed up when I logged in to the icon that it let me in temporarily was pictures. If they gave me my phone, which is mine, it would clearly have everything. And since they've done all these things, they should see this. They should see pictures of what I took with Gannon at home with me later. They should see all this shit, man. And it pisses me to fuck off that no one's even caring. Everybody's wanting to point the finger, but won't let me sit there and show you.
All right, LETECIA. Okay. You told me to be straight.
I got you on the phone, and I'm trying to sit here and tell my own husband every little detail, everything. You think I don't want my family?
All right, Tisha, listen. Like I said the whole time, I'm just trying to help you and trying to keep you and Harley safe from all. I mean, these people are after me now. I don't know who the hell it is, but like I said, I had to go get my clothes changed and everything just so I can blend in better. And I want you to know that no matter what, we can work through this together, and I can help you, okay? But you just got to let me help you. But you told me to be straight up. I got a very straight up question, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you kill Gannon? I need to know. I need you to answer me yes or no right now.
I killed Gannon.
Did
The
you?
answer is no. I can't believe you asked me this.
I just got to know you. I told me to be straight up. I got to know what's happening to my son.
Tell me why you would think I killed Gannon.
There's a lot of unknowns. I mean, being straight up again, you changed your story again to me for the fourth time.
No, I changed my story.
You did. This is the fourth version of the same story, okay?
Wow.
Like half of what you told me today with the cut foot, and now he's got burned arms and picking it, and his butt's bleeding. All this stuff is new to what you told me the other day. And the other day you told me you cleaned up the area where you got raped so nobody would see it. But now you told me you just changed clothes. I just don't know what the hell's going on.
I didn't tell you. First off, you never even listened to me about anything that went on.
I did. No, you stopped because I listened to you. I listened to you, and then I went and got the guns and put them in the truck, and then I came back and me and Landon listened to you, and then I stopped and picked your story apart. So get it straight, Tisha. I listened to you, and I said, if I'm wrong about the rape, I will get on my knees and beg you for forgiveness. Did I not say that?
Yeah, but you haven't.
Exactly, because I haven't been proven wrong yet. I want the truth. If I'm wrong, if the police, no matter what they're doing, the FBI, the CBI, the CBS, whoever, okay, if they tell me I'm wrong, I will publicly, in front of the world, get on a camera and tell you I'm sorry. But until that happens, we're going to find the truth.
How can you tell me that someone didn't I don't understand. How can you tell me that someone didn't do something to hurt me and take in?
I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you it hasn't been proven one way or the other. You said you banged your head on the freaking table. Now I got to tell them to go check out the table and see if there's any blood or any of your...
You knew that. They had already asked that.
Okay, but that's the first I heard of it. You see what I'm saying?
Because you never would talk to me. You literally just sat here in a conversation and asked me, did I kill our child?
Yes, I did, because if you say no, then I'll stop thinking that you did it. Okay?
That's horrible.
I don't know what to think. My son's blood. You're telling me his blood's all over the walls, and now you're telling me the Mexican guy that had the gun to your head or whatever took him away, and he knows him, and he could be anywhere.
Hold on. Gun. So where did you get that piece from?
That was what that. So now you got me twisting all your stories up because that was from the first time you told me the rape story that he had a gun to your head. And you told me it was your gun. You told me. But you told me it was your gun, so that's fine. I'm not debating the points here, but
I said the black one.
okay, fine. But I mean,
You know in your heart I would never hurt Gannon.
yes, I absolutely believe that. But I'm doing everything I can to help you right now. And but Tisha, listen. The thing is, if you don't, but it's not just it. I asked you if you killed him. You said no, and I'm sorry. That was a hard question. But if you know anything, or you did anything, or just upset about it, we can work together, and I can help you. But I can't help you if you don't tell me anything. It's just there's so many unknowns, Tisha.
Oh my God.
I mean, did anything happen that was an accident that you're scared about?
Really?
I'm just trying to, Tisha, you know, with my Army training, I'm trained to ask all these questions to get us in a safe place, right? And that's why I took the guns out from the get-go. That's just my training kicking in.
Oh my God, I really thought, I thought out of this conversation, I really thought you were going to be supportive of me. I thought you were going to bring your family back together. And I thought that we were going to talk about everything every single day of nothing but Gannon.
That's what I'm trying to do.
For a second, you would ask me, did I kill Gannon? I can't believe that.
Well, I'm glad you said no. That gives me a lot of hope and peace.
Oh, Gannon. I already told him about how maybe, just maybe, you might have a brother. Maybe. We talked about, we cried about Kobe. We did a lot together.
What?
What hurt, Gannon?
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, Tisha, let me ask you this way then. I don't believe you killed him, but did something bad happen to him and he maybe he is dead or not with us anymore and you just panicked and didn't know what to do? I mean, is there anything like that? Just any information is what I need. We can help you. I can help you get through this. But but we got to know the information about Bubba. I mean, just think of,
Really, Gail?
yes, I'm just trying to figure out what happened to him. He's gone and nobody knows anything, but you were the last one to hear him speak. Okay, which was Monday when you were driving around and he left the house. The last time we heard him speak, I don't know. I don't know when that was. Before I left, probably. When I left and he went downstairs to watch Pokemon. That's the last memory I have of him.
Albert, let me tell you something. People don't have the life that I have. People don't just be a normal person, just doing their thing, finally had what they want to do and be in the sky, working. Oh, they don't do that. People premeditate things in life. There's no sign or indications of anything that I would have ever heard those children. I fought for you. I fought for them.
Yes, you did. You fought for all of us. You're right. I'm not questioning any of that, Tisha. I just did an accident happen? I mean, other than the candle or the burn? I don't know. I'm just trying to ask all the questions.
I've worked with children long enough, Albert. If an accident happened, I'm smart enough. I know what to do. I've had plenty of friends who've been in situations where they've been in the classroom. They accidentally dropped the kid. The kid might have broke their leg. You go to the people, you tell them it's an accident, and you work through it.
Okay, so all right, you also said something that was calmed my heart, tremendously about Bubba. That basically you didn't premeditate anything. So whatever happened to him had to be an accident, just like the candle. And obviously you wouldn't plan on something like that because you're a teacher and you do all those babysitting events. I know you wouldn't hurt kids intentionally, but whatever happened was an accident. And I know you didn't plan it.
I didn't have anything to do with it. Why are you saying this to me?
So he would have had to have died naturally then, other than.
He's dead.
I don't know, Tisha.
I can't even believe you are saying that. Gannon isn't alive. What's wrong with you?
Because it's just none of this makes any sense. I mean, he would have been found by now. Okay, he didn't. All the cameras, all that footage shows him not leaving the house other than in the truck. And I like I said, I'm just trying to help you get through this.
Help me?
Yes, help you because.
Help me get through this.
Because I am trying to help you. I want to know what happened to Gannon and try to help you and keep Harley safe and everything that I've said the whole time because that's who I am and you know that.
See what y'all think. This is what y'all think. Y'all think somebody's gonna come in here and say something just to appease everyone. But a true person who is completely innocent, y'all can keep beating me down in the ground all you want to because I didn't do it.
I'm not beating you down.
You think you don't want me anymore? Fine. You don't want that family anymore? Fine. You took my car. You took everything.
I didn't take anything. They got all my shit too, Tisha. I got 2 cars now because Harley's not going to pay for it. I got 2 cars I got to pay for that I can't even see or touch.
I'm begging you.
No, she hasn't. That I know. So
Every day, Albert, why are you not with your wife? Because you want to be so honest and ask questions. Why are you not with your wife and daughter?
because I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Because of this conversation, Tisha, I don't know, and I've told you that the whole time. I'm confused. I'm all over the place. I can't get the truth from you or the police or nobody. And now it's just even worse now because I got another story I've got to try to make a theory from.
Another story? You have never talked to me.
But you just told me. You told me a few minutes ago we had, and we went over it. You told me the first story. No, first you told me he ran away. Then it was the rape story. Then it was the second rape story. Now it's the third rape story.
I can't believe you just said the rape story.
I'm just. What do you want me to call it? The story of Gannon disappearing. Okay, you told me the first version of that, the second version, and now the third version.
You a second or third version.
Yes.
You sit down and talk to me.
No, that day that I got home. No, the day I got home, that next morning after my mom and sister and Landon and everybody was at the house, you told me you were texting Bethel and you told her the story. I don't know what you told her, and I kind of don't even.
Yes, you do.
I don't even care. No.
It's all there.
How does where?
My God, I can't believe you're lying to me right now.
About what? I'm not lying to you about anything, Tisha.
Albert, they had y'all at the police department when I was there.
Oh, you mean when Landon showed up and then they brought, I was already there or whatever? Is that what you're talking about? Because that's the only time I know. I don't even know when you're there. I just assumed you had finally come in that night. Or was it the next day you came in? I don't even know, Tisha.
You were there because she was talking to you there.
Who was?
Bethel?
She was talking to me at the police station?
Yes.
Honestly, most of my talking was with Mark, the other guy that was at Starbucks. So I don't know what you mean she was talking to me. I think I might have talked to. I think I talked to her for like 10 or 15 minutes. Did
not tell you anything different. This is how my day went. I was going to lay down.
Hey, Tisha, I believe you. Okay. What I want you to answer for me is those simple questions. Did Gannon die and you just freaked out, or was there an accident involved? Did you kill him? Answer all those questions. Those are the ones that I want to know. Okay, I don't care about who talked to who, when we went where. That honestly, at this point, none of that freaking matters. What matters is that little 11-year-old boy is either out there or he's not, and I got to know that. And you're the only one that has any information regarding that.
I gave you that information, and you're not going to look for it.
No, but you ignored my question. I mean, answer those questions for me.
What's the first question?
All right. Did you kill Gannon?
No.
Okay. Did Gannon die on your watch, whether it was an accident or naturally from some injury?
No.
Okay. Did Gannon have an accident of a serious nature and you freak out and cover it up?
No.
So the answer is no to all of that.
Correct.
Okay. Now this is going to be very uncomfortable for you, even more uncomfortable than what I just asked you. But did Harley kill Gannon?
God, no.
Okay, any of the same questions, did she have anything to do with an accident, a cover up? Was she involved in this at all with you?
No. I haven't been involved either.
So so there's a blank somewhere that you have not filled the blank. So.
How have I not filled the blank? So you don't think for a second that someone came in the house and took Gannon? You don't think that?
I don't doubt that. I don't know what to believe, but I'm not doubting you. I'm just having to ask all these questions. So,
I begged you. I said, hey, let us all be together. Look at me in my eyes and ask me that question. Feel it in your heart and then ask me that question.
But you gotta look at it from my perspective. Okay, first of all, and I got a couple things to say, so let me get through it. These stories, just like I've said the whole time, they don't sound legit to me. They just don't add up. They're not true. Something is off from every story because there's different versions. So that's number one. Number two.
I've only talked to you once.
Okay. All right, fair enough. But you got to put yourself in my shoes, okay? What the hell would you do if this was Harley, okay? And you didn't have all the information. How would you put all these pieces together? So, I mean, you got, from my glasses, how am I supposed to put all these pieces together when I don't even have a third of the pieces? I'm just trying to find the pieces and get them together.
You want me to answer that question?
Which one? The one about what if it was Harley?
Yeah.
Yeah, answer that question.
Okay. So as soon as you tell me this, when I get off this phone, I will have my husband and my children together in a home, and our houses will be praying, and we will be on the phone with the detectives, and we will be saying, listen, I support my husband, and we need to find someone over here. Somebody had to see something. Ask them again. Do something. We will be putting a fucking alert out everywhere. We will be putting a description out everywhere. We will close the fucking borders from Colorado to all of them, up and down 95, because it leads to fucking Mexico.
95? What?
That shit.
Why would you?
I'm sorry, 85, whatever.
85?
What's the road called? 25. This is the state that leads to Mexico.
Well, please be careful when you say those things, because then they're going to start looking up and down 95 on the East Coast. Okay?
Sorry.
And that's not going to help us. Since you know he's not over there, that's not going to help us if they get sent over there. Okay? So, but you didn't answer my question. How am I supposed to put all these pieces together? You're telling me let's go home and pray, and I've been praying I've been praying nonstop. Okay, but we got to have action too. So here, listen. I got to go because now I'm freaking. Everybody's going to start questioning me at the house. Where have you been? What are you doing? Are you involved? I'm going to get all those questions now. So
the house? Who are you staying with?
Uncle Jeff, and then freaking Veronica and all them that are all over the place. Okay, so.
Why would you have to be anywhere near them?
I don't have to be, but you saw we had to do. Listen.
And your daughter.
Tisha, listen, I had to do these statements and interviews and all this shit. It's just nonstop. Every day is something else. Okay, so if you think all this information is what they need, apparently the El Paso people haven't done their job and they haven't forwarded it to the FBI. So I don't know. There's some Amber lady called me from the FBI, and I'm gonna just email you her number and her name. And if you want to pass this information to her, that's much higher than the freaking CBS or whatever you call it.
Yeah, because they've called everyone I know.
Okay, well then that's what.
You can tell them too.
Okay, but I don't have the document you have. So anyways, I'm just gonna send you the contact, and if you want it, you take it. If not, I can't make you do anything. But I gotta go. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not how you would say trying to find your son. You would not say if you don't want to do anything, then blah blah blah.
No, that's not true because I can't. I wanted you with me the whole time, and you left. So I'm gonna give you the information you need to pass your stuff along, and then you can do that. Okay.
Listen to me. We don't have anywhere to stay. I'm asking you to stay with your wife and daughter, and let's do this together. Now you tell me no if you think that you don't give a shit about us and you don't want that. You tell me no right now.
Tell you no.
You tell me yes. If you want your family together because you believe
I
me.
wanted my family together. Listen to me. Listen to me. I wanted my family together the whole time. And listen, you're not letting me help you, so I recommend that you get in contact with this Amber lady because she offered me help and safety because I told her what I was going through, and I'm sure they'll do the same thing for you, especially all that you've been through with you're telling me about the social media stuff and people chasing you around. You said in the email, so I'm going to send you her contact information, okay, and then you decide whether or not to contact her to find protection for yourself and get them this information, okay? But I gotta go, okay? I gotta go, Tisha. I gotta go.
The question.
What question? I said I wanted you to be together, but I gotta go, okay? I gotta go. Bye. Bye.
Mr. Allen?
Just getting Mr. Stauch back up on the.
Okay, Mr. Stauch, if you would resume your seat on the witness stand, I remind you, sir, that you're still under oath. Allen?
Thank you, Judge. At the time of this call, Mr. Stauch, did you know the defendant's location?
I did not know, sir.
You can move that microphone closer to you if you want to, so you don't have to lean over.
Right.
Yeah, the chair doesn't move. Everybody makes that mistake, but the microphone does.
Thank you.
At the very beginning of that call, it seemed like there was a disconnect where the phone dropped or something like that. During the process of these recorded phone calls, was that common to happen where for some reason the call would drop and then either you or her would have to call the other person back?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was, and yes.
There were some references in there where you said you were feeling heat and that you went up to up on the north end to buy some, I think you said redneck clothes in that. What did you mean when you were saying that you were feeling heat and that you had to go buy some redneck clothes?
So much of this call and many other calls, I was trying to, if you will, stay in character, just to keep her on the hook. So saying things that I knew that we had joked around or talked about in the past. I did, in fact, go to Bass Pro Shop and buy some additional clothes because at one point I didn't have all my stuff out of the house, and I needed some additional things just to get by. So it was kind of telling her actually what I did, but also using something from our past to keep her on the hook. So,
And in that portion of the conversation, you said you hoped that you would run into her while you were up north.
Right.
For context purposes, had the defendant told you that she was staying with somebody up in the north part of El Paso County?
she did. There was some story. I don't remember the specifics, but yes, she was up there, and that's why I referenced that. When I say
But-
she, I meant the defendant.
Okay, and, but you didn't have any independent knowledge whether she was up north in El Paso County or someplace else even in the country?
No, sir, I had no knowledge of her whereabouts, period.
She mentioned, in that phone call about Gannon stepped on something in the garage and cut his foot on the boards and got blood on the boards.
Yes, I heard that in the phone call.
Can you describe for the jury and, what boards she would be talking about and where in the garage those boards might have been?
So, as you saw in a photo, the garage was pretty messy, but there was, depending on what project I had going on, I would stash boards, on that looking into the garage on the left-hand side. I'd lay them down so she could drive over them when she parked her car in the garage. I just ran out of room as I had projects stacking up and whatnot.
And just so we're orienting ourselves correctly, when you say looking into the garage on the left-hand side, you're talking about from the street.
From the
looking
street
in.
view, yes, sir.
Yep. Was it common for Gannon to take out the trash, as was referenced in that phone call?
Absolutely. That was one of his chores.
Where was the trash? Where would he take it out to?
So once again, from the street view, the gate that was referenced numerous times was to the left of the garage. And so he would typically go out the back door, through the backyard and then around the house to the trash can, because the gate we kept locked typically.
So let's talk a little bit about that backyard. Was it completely fenced in?
Yes, it was fenced in all the way around. Yes, sir.
What kind of fence did it have?
I believe it was a wooden fence. I think, yeah.
Was it short fence, tall fence?
It was like a maybe 6 or 8 foot privacy type fence all the way around.
Okay.
And joining, the neighbors had joining sides, so there wasn't 2 fences. It was just 1 fence on each side and the back that joined the neighbors.
How many gates in the backyard?
Just the one on the, as I referenced already, the left-hand side looking at the garage from the street.
There was reference to a key in that phone call as well, a key to the gate.
Yes, sir.
Did you keep that gate locked, closed?
Yeah, we kept it locked. The only time I really remember unlocking it on a regular basis was to cut the grass in the backyard.
Where was that key normally kept?
I had a little basket of just whatever, just doodads on top of my dresser or somewhere in the master bedroom, and the key would be in there. It was a couple keys on a keychain, and I kept it in that basket.
Was the lock on the, hopefully I'm going to describe this correctly when I'm asking this question. Was it a padlock, first of all?
It was.
Was that padlock on the outside of the gate, meaning closer to the street, or on the inside yard part of the gate?
For instance, if Gannon were to unlock it, he would have had to go through the backyard and access it from the backyard side of the gate to unlock it. He could not reach over from the front yard side. Is that clear enough?
Yeah, so just so we're clear, the lock that is locking the gate is on the inside of the yard.
Yes. Yeah, on the backyard side, yes, sir.
How tall was Gannon?
Oh, I don't remember it right off the top of my head. Approaching 5 foot. I don't know if he had hit 5 foot yet. Is it in that range?
I guess just to really drive home this point, maybe unnecessarily, but was he tall enough, or did he have long enough arms that he could reach over a 6-foot fence and unlock the gate?
Yeah, let me reiterate. I just mentioned that a second ago. He could not open the gate from the front yard. I mean, if he was standing on a ladder or something, but standing on the ground, he could not. He was not tall enough to reach over and unlock it. He had to go from the back.
Could you even?
I think I could, or pull myself up far enough to get it. I'm not sure, but I don't remember ever doing that.
Okay.
Because the lock was a little bit, it hung a little bit lower. It wasn't at the top, so.
Okay. There was mention of Kobe. Who is Kobe referenced in there?
Kobe Bryant, he died, as many of us know, he died on that Sunday, which I think would have been the 26th. And I think it was in the phone call, I said, she had sent me a text message about it right when I landed at the airport in Lawton, Oklahoma. That's what I found out.
Okay, so she had sent you a text message in reference to Kobe Bryant dying in that helicopter crash?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's what that references to?
Yes, sir.
There was reference of bath salts. Tell us about the bath salts. What was that reference in regard to?
So, some years ago, bath salts became kind of a recreational drug or something. I don't know much about it. I don't think that's the same bath salts as you put in your bathtub. I'm not 100% sure, but something came up in a text message thread where I referenced earlier about a friend on the bus, this new friend that I'd never found to exist, but he said Gannon could come over and play if Gannon were to bring bath salts with him, or some drugs or whatever. And that's where the bath salts were introduced into the conversation. The next thing I did was ask Tisha to get, or the defendant to get all that. We had some, household bath salts. I said, get all those and put them up just in case.
Put them up for what reason?
In case that story was true.
But put them up so that maybe Gannon couldn't get to them?
Find them, or Gannon couldn't get them, or whatever.
Okay. There was a reference by the defendant to, the way I wrote it down was the Douglas County, thing, basically. Were you aware that there were searches happening up on the northern part of El Paso County, southern part of, Douglas County line?
Yeah, at some point, I don't remember the exact date, but I know the search moved into that area because we were, I and those around me were following the news pretty closely, and getting most of our information from there. So,
So, to your knowledge, the fact that there was a search happening up in that part of the, state, was actually being broadcast on the news.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
That's where you learned it.
Yeah, that's where I learned it. I think also in those pretext calls, that area was mentioned to me at one point. No specifics were given, just had you ever been through that area or whatever. So
Based on her reference, did that indicate to you that she also had, learned that there was a search happening in that area as well?
I don't know if in that moment I put it together and, immediately following that phone call, I think somewhere down the line, I put it together that, oh, she must have put those together, seen the news as well and brought that up because of that. I'm not sure, Mr. Allen.
And then the comment that she makes, close in time to that comment about Douglas County, is that y'all are barking up the wrong tree.
Yes.
In your mind, was that her, trying to move the investigation away from that area?
Objection calls for speculation.
Stayed.
Who was Uncle Matt?
That's the first, I think I said that in the phone call. I've never heard of, I brought up, the defendant's sister's ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or something. That's the only person I could think of the name Matt that could have been referred to as an uncle. No other person that I've ever heard of.
So when she said Uncle Matt, that is not a name that you knew about.
No, sir.
Obviously, it sounds like, in that phone call, there was a range of emotion happening on the defendant's part, especially. Was, that range of emotion consistent with her personality the way you knew it?
Absolutely.
In that particular phone call, did she ever change her persona or identity as you were talking to her?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
In that phone call, was your question? Yeah.
In that call?
Yeah, Mr. Allen, in that phone call, I only ever was talking to the defendant.
You mentioned in that phone call, these people are after me now. What did you mean by that?
Absolutely nothing. Just, there was a statement just to put myself in her shoes as well. To once again, try to keep her on the hook.
Okay. And again, with this question, I'm not gonna ask you to opine on the ultimate question as to the purpose of this trial. But you made a comment, I don't believe you killed him. Was that a question again that you were asking to keep her on the hook and keep talking?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay. What about the idea that, you made mention in that phone call about even you were not getting truth from her or even the police? Was that again another one of these references to you trying to keep her on the phone and keep talking?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a little bit of both. I felt I wasn't getting truth from her, but she was saying the police aren't doing their job, so it was a little bit of both.
When you had custody of Gannon and Lena, when you were still married with the defendant, would the kids sometimes go visit Landon, spend time with Landon?
Yeah, there's scheduled visits, holidays, summertime, I don't remember the exact schedule right now, but
The defendant have like a dance party when the kids would leave, indicating she was happy that they were no longer in the house.
there was one or two times I remember her and Harley, or excuse me, the defendant and Harley, having I call it a dance party. This would have been when we lived in Myrtle Beach, when I did not yet have custody. So it was like weekend visits or whatever after they left.
And then I think it's clear based off of the context of the way that call unfolded. But did this call occur before or after Gannon's remains were found?
This was before.
Okay. Judge, the next portion that I intend to get into would be the next phone call, which is about 37 minutes long. So I'm wondering if we should potentially.
Yeah, council approach for a moment.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news and some bad news. And the good news is that the other phone calls that I think are going to be played are not as long as the first one. The bad news is that we have about 20 minutes, and I don't think we can efficiently use your time. But I also think that we've had a long afternoon, so I think that probably everybody could use a break early. We are still on track. We are still moving things along. The lawyers are, I think, doing their best to try and move things along. Sometimes things just take longer than what they think. Sometimes they go faster than what they think. So I apologize that we cannot efficiently use your time today, but I think it's probably good that everybody has a break. So we're going to end early. Again, do not discuss the case among yourselves. Do not discuss the case with anyone else. Do not do any investigation about any aspect of the case. Remember to avoid any stories or opinions from anyone regarding this matter. And if we can have everyone where they need to be so that they can meet Mr. Combs in the morning at the usual time, and then we should be able to start right at 9 o'clock and go from there. So with that, oh, and the 520 snow, I don't think you're going to need it tonight. But we shall see. So if that's an issue, that's the best place to find out. But other than that, we'll see you in the morning. All rise for the jury, please.
What's your stats?
Thank you. May all be seated. Record should reflect the jury has left the courtroom. Mr. Stauch, you can go ahead and step down. Can you give me a preview of where we're going tomorrow?
So it's going to be similar to today with those phone calls. Obviously, I admitted a bunch of those phone calls. We're not necessarily playing all of them with Mr. Stauch on the stand because there are other people involved with the process of recording those phone calls.
Okay.
So we'll have at some point down the road, a different FBI agent for a portion of them, and then a second FBI agent for another portion of those phone calls. We also have some people, I believe, who do we have finding today? We have two people from the Pensacola area that are actually I think maybe are here now.
Okay.
That were involved with the discovery of Gannon's remains down in Florida.
And that's what you anticipate tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else we need to address at this point in time? Prosecution?
Not from us.
Defense?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Then we'll